You go to Emmett Sheehan does his job. You go to the ninth inning, and everyone out there is screaming at their televisions. Everyone out there that was at the game screaming, we want Roki Sasaki. Give us our closer. Give us our closer. And then what happens? You go with Blake Trinan. And Blake Trinan, he did not get the job done. He gives up 3 hits. And then he comes in the game, and it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying with Blake Trinan out there. Emmett Sheehan, he got the job done. Retired the first 4 hitters he faced in the 8th inning. The 8th inning issues came up once again. Kepler tripled that ball. It kicked off the edge of the grass to the right fielder, and you're trying to make that play. That singled home Trey Turner for the Phillies' first run. But it was him bouncing back, striking out Kyle Schwarber, getting Bryce Harper to fly out, and you're feeling, okay, the Dodgers have a great chance. The Dodgers have a great chance to end this game. It's going to be comfortable. It's 4-1. It's the 9th inning. And Dave Roberts, despite saying before the game that Roki Sasaki would be available to pitch for the second time in 3 days, what does he do? He goes to Old Faithful. He goes to one of his guys. He goes to a guy that in the back of his baseball card shows that he's done a lot for this organization, whether it be what happened in 2020 when he came in and got the big save in Game 5 after Kenley couldn't get it done in Game 4, or last year, what he did in Game 5 and throughout the postseason. Blake Trinan, for the most part, has been nails for this Dodgers organization, but he opens up the 9th, and he was pulled after giving up a single and 2 doubles. Was not able to record an out. Yeah, the Dodgers, they end up in a situation where you're terrified. Are you going to blow this game? Had the Dodgers blown yesterday's game, I think there's a pretty decent chance that you're looking at a Game 5 winner-take-all in Philly. That's how much those stakes were yesterday. I think that Blake Trinan almost cost the Dodgers a chance to win another World Series title because the pitches just were not competitive in the zone when they were getting hit. I mean, you look at when Blake Trinan is at his very best, and when he's leaving stuff in the zone, it's very hittable. The single to Bohm was a sinker up and in. The Realmuto double was a 4-seamer top of the zone at 95. The Castellanos double, that was a pitch that he went out and got, but still not a good pitch in that situation. So they still won, but last night was too risky. And just texting with someone from the Dodgers organization about the decision to use Blake Trinan yesterday, well, this is what I heard. And that was that you can't afford to try to fix Blake Trinan in those situations. He had bad location, bad command, no extension. And what I was told is the extension on his pitches is what's leading to having no life and very bad movement. So it's not even like he's throwing like the Blake Trinan in the past. And then the 6th inning, you got he's got to be a low leverage guy is what I was told, is that if you want to build Blake Trinan back up, you got to do it in the 6th inning. You got to do it in a low leverage situation because you got to manage with your brain and not your heart. And that's what Dave Roberts did yesterday. So here was Dave Roberts after the game talking about his decision to go with Blake Trinan in the 9th.
I thought about it. He hasn't gone 2 out of 3 much at all. Just figuring the run right there. You know, Blake's pitched some of the biggest innings in the postseason for us, and felt really confident right there. And with Vesia behind him, if needed. And so I didn't want to just kind of, preemptively put him in there. I felt good with who we had with our leverage relievers, a couple of our highest leverage relievers. And, fortunately, he was ready when called upon. And I liked him versus Trey, and he got a big out for us.
That was a decision that almost backfired. And I hope that the number one thing the Dodgers learned yesterday, the number one thing you're going to take away from yesterday's game is that moving forward, you have to go with Roki Sasaki in that situation. And yes, I get it. if it were up to Dodgers fans, Roki Sasaki would pitch every single inning of every single game for the rest of the postseason when it comes to going to the bullpen. You can't do that. You're going to need to use another bullpen guy at some point. And yes, the matchup there with your 4, 5, and 6 hitters, right-handed hitters, Blake Trinan should have been able to, at the very least, get an out. But now we know that Blake Trinan is not on the trust tree. Tanner Scott's not on the trust tree. And now you're going to have to get other alternatives. The issue that I had yesterday wasn't necessarily as much of the Blake Trinan thing. It was, hey, I'm mad. Why can't Emmett Sheehan close that game? Why do you take Emmett Sheehan out in that situation? And if Roki Sasaki was going to pitch, let Roki Sasaki pitch. Because game 2 in a 5-game series, you needed that game. And I have seen enough. Roki Sasaki, he's the closer for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't care that they don't want to have a label for a closer because they don't want to limit themselves. They want to free themselves up just in case there's a matchup that they need to go to. They don't want to just give an advantage to the other team knowing they're going to see Roki in the 9th. No, Roki is your guy. He's your closer. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's that dude. And look at the moxie. Roki said after the game that he's comfortable pitching in consecutive games. But guess what? He had a day off before this game. He had a day off after this game. There's absolutely zero reasons why Roki Sasaki did not get the ball to start the 9th inning. Thankfully, they won, and it's always better to try to evaluate your team and improve after you've won a game. It's much more difficult after you lost. But yesterday, they won, and now they have more information on Blake Trinan. This is not his year, and you can't go into those situations. You just cannot go to him. But how about this from Roki Sasaki? After the game, he was asked about the booing, the jeering, the Phillies fans who, do they know another word other than boo? They're booing their own team. They're booing Shohei Ohtani, booing the Dodgers. I mean, is this the curse of the Philly Karen? Feels like it could be. The negative vibes, they're everywhere. And Roki Sasaki, when he was asked about the boos, he said, quote, I don't understand English. I just threw without paying attention to it. I love that from Roki Sasaki. I love that. I mean, who cares about these Phillies fans? Who cares? I mean, who cares about the situation? He's built for this. These guys come to the show and they've already performed the WBC and the NPB. They understand how to perform under the bright lights. So that, as the kids say, that was a bar by Roki Sasaki. And that shot of him in the bullpen with his arms crossed and the bullpen jacket over him, that was just absolute aura. And Roki Sasaki has been everything the Dodgers could have hoped he would be coming out of the pen. He has absolutely saved this Dodgers bullpen, possibly saving the season. And I think there's a lot of Dodgers fans out there. We're going to do a segment here where it's old takes exposed. A lot of Dodgers fans out there that owe Roki Sasaki an apology. You know, when Roki was crying after a start in the dugout, saying that he's soft. Hey, guess what? I like the fact that he pitched with emotion. I like the fact that he cared that much. He cared so much that he was open to different mechanical adjustments, like lowering the arm angle from 48 to 41 degrees, from getting himself back into shape and just finding ways to be effective. And guess what? He's not crying anymore. It's opposing hitters that are crying. It's opposing fan base that are booing and crying. It's opposing players that are crying that have to face this guy. Since saves became official in 1969, Roki Sasaki is the only MLB pitcher to have his first 2 career saves both come in the postseason. Could you have bigger stones if you're Roki to have your career start in the postseason as a reliever and you get those 2 saves? And you look at his numbers, he made just 8 starts his rookie season, but in the 3 games so far in the postseason, 2 1/3 innings of work, no runs on 1 hit, 2 saves. This guy is the Roki of the postseason. It is Sasoctober, and he saved this Dodgers bullpen. I think he is going to continue to be a factor. I think he's going to be the Frankie Rodriguez of this team.